just didn't turn up, and for me.
Well, Mourinho seems to be having a
midlife crisis.
Yeah.
Wait, we're going to come back to criticising Manu and Mourinho.
Yes.
Because it's hilarious.
It's the best.
But right now, we have got Ryan Skyping us from down under. Ryan, are you there?
G'day, mate.
Yes.
Oh, good day, mate. Oh, mate.
unlucky today with the result. Oh, mind you, it was 1-1, so maybe not.
I think we got robbed, man. You can't really say that because there's been a lot of controversy about.
I watched it. Unlucky, buddy.
It happens.
Yeah, have you been robbed? There's nothing in your flat.
It's laundry day, man. There's
What are you laundering? The lamp? The art on the walls?
Not much happening.
Well, thank you for Skyping us before we launch into an abuse of your very lovely home, by the way. Yeah, so for people that don't know and don't recognise the emblem on your chest, you are a supporter of the Western Sydney Warriors. And tell us about them, and it's an incredible story. Wanderers.
Yeah, Wanderers, yep, I was going to say.
For people that don't know them, like myself here, no, tell us about them, because the story is mad.
Yeah, so we were established 5 years ago, and in our first season we became premiers of the league, which is absolutely unheard of in almost any league. It usually is the result of being wooden spooners in your first season, and we managed to win the premiership and go to a grand final. And we managed to go to another one the year after that, and we were also competing in the Asian Champions League, and we were written off pretty much. We were told it was impossible for us to get out of the group. We were nobody. We had a limited budget due to the salary restrictions we have in Australia with our league to make it sustainable for all the clubs. And ultimately, we went through and beat teams like Guangzhou Evergrande, which backed by millions and millions of dollars in China. We've beaten Al Hilal in the final, which were backed by oil tycoons and billionaires. And ultimately, we came out the better team through the genius of our coach Tony Popovic, which I'm sure all of you are familiar with from his days at Crystal Palace. And it was just a real fairy tale. Everyone talks about Leicester City, but this one's already happened, I'm afraid.
I mean, it's formed in 2012 and then got on to be the best team in Australia. I mean, it is absolutely mad. Who were you supporting before 2012?
I went to a handful of Sydney FC games, and the Sydney FC fans out there will be laughing and saying you're all ex-Sydney FC fans, but to be honest, I never really connected with that club. It was geographically completely out of my zone. It's at least an hour drive, maybe more, to their home ground. I wasn't going to make that trip, and the club really didn't appeal to me. And once Western Sydney was born, this really is a hot spot of football in Australia. We've developed, Tim Cahill and all the recognisable international names really, and still are developing top level talent.
I love how you went for the all the big Australian names. Tim Cahill.
Who scored,
all the other ones.
He scored against them today.
I know Ben wants to thank you as well, because I know that he's put a few accas on.
I actually had an acca on
and you've helped him a lot.
Yeah,
you brought him this very expensive jumper.
Yeah, this.
Thank you.
So thank you for
I
that.
wanted to say thank you to Melbourne today, but I wanted to ask actually if it was anything. The likes of Topol Stanley, Mitch Nichols, etc. Do you see a future for them outside of the A-League? Santaleb even as well. Do you see a future for them away from Western Sydney? Even?
Santaleb's probably at the twilight of his career. He's a fantastic player, but the age will catch up to him, unfortunately. Topol Stanley was always tipped to go to Asia, so that wasn't really a surprise to most of our fans. But the likes of the rise of Aaron Moy, who was signed by Manchester City and then loaned out to Huddersfield Town and is really tearing it up there right now, just shows you the sort of talent that we can produce. And to be honest, Aaron Moy before joining Western Sydney was, it was a promising talent, but nothing to what the level he's achieved now. And I think through Popovic and the rest of the team, you're really seeing players come in who are, have promising abilities and such, but then they seem to nurture those, and once they move on, they're really performing quite well for any team that they move on to.
What is the state of football generally down there in Australia? Is it still very far behind rugby and cricket in the popularity stakes?
We are catching up very, very quickly. I mean, my team, Western Sydney, we're based in a purpose-built rugby stadium, and that only housed less than 20,000 people. And 5 years on from inception, we have now been moved out of that stadium because they're tearing it down. We're putting a 35,000-seater stadium in there. We've secured TV rights for the foreseeable future, and it's growing rapidly. And you're seeing the TV viewership increasing, the fan base increasing. My club and Melbourne Victory especially have got 20,000 members each, so that's really promising compared to what it was like 5 to 10 years ago.
We've got to take a break, Ryan, mate, but thank you very much for Skyping into us. What time is it there? Is it Saturday morning?
Yeah, it's 8:40 there. It's not too early.
Sorry to wake you up, mate.
Yeah.
Sorry to wake you up. Did you go out last night? Did you paint the town red and black stripes?
Of course, yeah.
Good,
yeah.
good. Well, have a good one, mate. Mate, it's been a pleasure. And I hope to talk to you again soon. All right, mate? I've been Michael Owens for my bad impression. I'm sorry, I deserve that. Right, mate, thank you very much. Go get back to sleep. And maybe hang up some art. Just, I don't know, just a suggestion. All right, mate, thank you very much. Cheers, Ryan. Well done, Ryan. He was very nice.
He was a top lad.
He can play again on
Yeah,
FANTV. Right, we are going to take another break here on FANTV, and then we'll get straight back into talking about Liverpool and Manchester United, who have two massive games coming up over the weekend. We'll see you in just a bit.